Hello and welcome to the Cow's Den. I am Josh, and with me, as always, is Matt. What's up, Matt?
What's up, bitches?
This is episode 22 of the
Deuce,
Cow's
deuce.
Den podcast. As usual, we're going to talk comics, pop culture, nerdy shit as usual. Same old thing. But freaking episode 22, man. What's up? What's up?
Man, that's we're what almost at the halfway mark for half a year.
Yeah.
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 Because six would be I'd be 20. Well, no, we're past
I was about to say, I think we're getting close to a
because
year,
it'd be
actually.
two. Yeah, we're almost at a year because it was 2 a month.
I was
So
about to say,
yeah.
I think we're getting close to a year. So, but yeah. Anyway, I'm going to start it off with some comics. I actually got a lot of comics, which surprise, surprise. But I have a lot of comics this week. Let's see here. DC versus vampires. A lot of the horror stuff. I was talking to you, Matt, is like last week or last episode was our last episode before Halloween, and I feel like we didn't quite tackle the horror stuff enough. So, DC versus vampires. This is the new James Tynion guy who does Batman, House of Slaughter, Somebody's Killing Children. Look at that cover though.
That's pretty
Batman.
freaking
That's
cool.
nuts. But yeah, it's a 12 issue series, DC versus vampires. It's first issue came out. It's kind of, I mean, I guess I don't know how to say it's pretty much what you'd expect, but it's pretty much what you'd expect, I guess. I don't know. It's a vampire comes to the Justice League and says, this queen vampire, it has been keeping the peace between humans and vampires for centuries, and now somebody killed her, so the vampires are going to start slaughtering humans. So we need your help. I need your help to the Justice League. But the big twist was that he gets to the Hall of Justice, explains his whole story to the Green Lantern, and then Green Lantern fucking kills him, and you find out Green Lantern's actually a vampire. So that was the part
Now,
where I was like, okay, all right. Like,
is it Hal Jordan?
Hal
Or
Jordan,
is
yeah,
it
it's Hal
okay?
Jordan, yeah. But yeah, you find out he's a vampire, so he like.
So is it actually Hal Jordan or is it a shapeshifter
I
looking like Hal
I
Jordan?
don't quite know yet. I
Okay.
mean, I don't quite know if it's actually Hal and he's a vampire, or if
Right.
it's a vampire posing as Hal. I don't
Right.
know yet. That's still the first issue, but it was just, that was a cool little twist. He comes to like tell the vampire like shows up all beaten and bloody, and he's like comes to the Justice League and to the Hall of Justice, and he's like, these vampires came, they fucked up the Legion of Doom, they're killing everybody, they broke the peace, they killed the head vampire, so now they're trying to start this war. Tells the whole story to the Green Lantern, and then Green Lantern's like, oh, that's cool, by the way, you're dead. And I was like, oh, all right, okay. So it's a good start. It was a good start. Yeah, that's it. I mean, it was a good start. I
Yeah.
definitely
That
excited
sounds interesting, man.
where the next issue goes. Yeah, for sure. And like I said, 12 issue series, so it's not going to be like a ongoing thing, but it's still cool. Uh, the next one is another horror one. Got the Task Force Z. I talked about both of these. It's funny because I remember on one of the episodes, I talked about both of these coming out when they announced them. That was like my comic news of these coming out. So this is the one where Jason Todd is leading a crew of um, undead bad guys, basically. And they are like the new Suicide Squad, but there's undead Bane and Man Bat and the Arkham Knight, and it's all led by Jason Todd. And he's running a squad of undead dudes.
So when they say undead, are you meaning zombies? Do you mean
they
vampires?
they are using like Bane. Joker killed Bane recently. I don't know if you knew about
Yeah.
that yet. And so they
Yeah.
used his body and gave him some of the Lazarus serum, or Lazarus
Okay.
stuff. I forget how the actual word for it, but Lazarus
Serum.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, and that brings them back. And kind of like Jason, the way he leads them all is by being like, bitch, I'll give you a little piece of your Lazarus stuff if if you do what I say. So
So
it's kind of
it
cool.
is Bane like, is he like a mindless Bane or is he
No,
actually like Bane?
he's well, I mean, Bane's kind of like, no, Bane's smart as fuck. I don't know what I'm saying.
So like, is he like his regular self, or is he
he's kind
actually
of
like?
he's kind of an in between. It's like he can still talk and stuff, but he's kind of dumb, like
Right.
not stupid, brain dead, but not
Not his
fully.
normal self.
Right. I'd say he's kind of an in between area. Yeah, I'd say he talks and acts kind of like the Hulk, like
Okay.
you
Yeah.
know, yeah. So again, good start, good opening story. The ending, I there was like a little twist ending, and for some reason I'm blanking on it right now. um but it was a good start, it was a good opening thing. It's that Jason gets they go to fight fucking Mr. Freeze actually. And the end of the first issue is Jason gets frozen to the ground, and the zombie version of the Arkham Knight right here is like crawling to him, and he can't move, to like stop him. So that's the end of the first
That's
issue.
cool, man.
Right. So it's like, it's cool that like the idea that even his own crew, he may not be able to keep in check, So
It's non-traditional cool. It's not the same story over and over and over.
exactly. Well, and I love the idea of taking a story but throwing like a zombie twist on it, or taking a story but throwing like
Every so often,
vampire twist
yeah.
on it. Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know. I love the idea of, I guess
Well, if they
people,
do it right, yeah.
exactly. I guess
Absolutely.
people rag on zombies and vampires and stuff because they're so like mainstream. But like you said, if it's done right, then it doesn't matter. And
Yeah.
that's the thing with Kirkman, is Kirkman took the idea of zombies, which is kind of a generic idea, and made it
And made it his.
his
I
own.
mean,
100% made it his own. Anyway, I don't want to go off on Kirkman again.
well, we're going to.
No, and the next one, the next comic, the last one of these was a big surprise to me. I really enjoyed it. So this was the new Batman Fortnite. This one's called Batman Fortnite Foundation.
Okay, that's a cool.
So
I like the cover.
this is Greg Capullo, the guy who usually works with Scott Snyder, and Scott Snyder actually wrote this one this time. So that was why I was like, shit.
So is this a continuation of the
It is.
Fortnite story?
It is.
Or
So at the end of the Fortnite 0 Point story, you find out that Batman Who Laughs, which is this big dude, is behind, with Lex Luthor, behind the whole thing. The whole reason, like, they're trying to expand the multiverse by sucking the energy out of the fucking Fortnite verse, basically, something to that effect.
Okay.
That's what Batman Who Laughs does, though, is he kind of destroys universes. That's like what he does. So anyway, in this one, we meet the Foundation, which is this other guy. The reason he's fighting Batman is because at first they don't know each other, but then you find out they're both trying to save the Fortnite universe. So they start working together. And that was like, it wasn't, it was kind of anticlimactic. And like, I didn't realize it was going to be a one shot. It's just one issue story. Yeah. And they kind of just knock it all out in one thing, and which is fine. I guess I just wasn't anticipating that. So yeah, so it felt kind of short because it was just kind of boom, 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 done. But they kick it, ends up with Batman kicking this dude into the Fortnite verse. He tries to shut it from his side, and then he's trapped in there with Batman Who Laughs now. So Batman Who Laughs is in the Fortnite verse, trapped with this other guy.
So I got a question.
What's up?
Are there any gigantic, because I'm not a Fortnite guy, but I know that there's like this event that's coming or just happened kind of thing where they've got these big ass cubes.
Yes.
Is that
just
tied into that? Is that tied into that?
It's
or no?
actually kind of cool how they incorporate some of that stuff. Like the cube story that's going on right now, I actually have been playing thanks to my lovely son, and my wife is actually sitting over there playing right now. But yes, it didn't really incorporate the cube story so much, but it did incorporate some of the other stuff. Like there's these little spires that are on the map, and they kind of explain like what the deal with those spires are in this, which is kind of crazy because, like, I don't know, I never really thought about the spires. I just kind of was like, oh, those are something that's there, and now they're like, that's why it's there. And I'm like, that was pretty cool. Yeah, so I mean, no to the actual cube part, but there is a lot of good Fortnite stuff in there, which is why it's actually kind of cool. Like, I never used to care about Fortnite, and I don't really care about it, but it's like
PUBG for life.
It's a well-written story. I mean, both this one and the first one were well-written stories. The artwork's nice. It's solid work, and it was good stories. So
it's cool.
All right, I got 2 more comics I want to talk about here. The next one, you guys obviously I'm a big James Tynion fan. I love his Children. I love Batman.
No.
So Something's Killing the Children got a spin-off, which is so what Something's Killing Children about is Erica Slaughter is her name. She's part of this house. The house is basically a house of people trained to fight monsters. And this spin-off now is called House of Slaughter, which goes more into the actual house rather than just being focused on Erica herself. It really focuses on this guy though. His name's Aaron. So it's a spin-off. I don't know. It was a first issue and it was a good first issue, but I think because it's a spin-off and because they've already established the Something's Killing Children universe, it wasn't like as crazy or anything. Like you kind of expected what was already going to happen, kind of thing. Like not the actual story, but I guess it has the same vibe, the same tone of Something's Killing Children, the same feel. It's just a different story. So certainly not bad, especially if you like Something's Killing Children. It was, it's a good intro to Aaron and kind of how he gets to where he's at in Something's Killing Children. But yeah, like I said, if you liked it, if you like Something's Killing Children, if you like James Tynion, it's a solid start. Now this is what I'm going to show off. This is quite honestly probably the most money I've spent on a single comic. This is the House of Slaughter, the 1 in 500 variant.
Wow.
And that's Aaron on top of a monster, and then the blood spells out House of Slaughter up there. This is legit one of my favorite covers I've ever seen, but it is also probably the most I've ever spent on a single comic.
How much did you spend?
I'm not gonna say.
Just tell me when to stop.
Tell me when to stop. I'm not gonna tell you when to stop. I'm gonna say no.
You text it to me. Text it to me.
We'll talk later. Wink, wink. No. All right. So yeah, that, like I said, good start for sure. It's a good first issue. I would like to know where it's going, but I guess my only complaint is that they're doing this branch off, which is showing Aaron Slaughter, while Something's Killing the Children is kind of doing a prequel right now where it's telling the origin of Erica, and Aaron's kind of the main part in that too. It's kind of weird that it's almost like it's just one story. Like, so
you want my opinion?
Yeah, what's up?
I think that they saw how big the first story got, and they said, let's try to cash in
on another number one. On another number one.
Yeah, on another series,
exactly,
like that, or that shows that. So that's my opinion.
And
because it sounds like
there's nothing wrong with that, dude. There's nothing wrong with that because the story is good, and when you've got good material, I don't care if you exploit the shit out of it. Go for it, dude, because I want to see it. So, and I'm not saying exploit because I don't want to say exploit because it's not really exploiting the material, but like I get what you mean because I mean, but you got to look at it from his point of view. This thing was meant to start as a 5-issue series. It was just going to be one small little story, and suddenly it fucking blew up. Yeah. So now there's a spin-off, there's a show being made. There's
Netflix show, right?
Netflix show, yeah. So it's like,
I mean,
that's what I was about to say. If I was in his shoes, I'd be like, "Yep, let's do it, bro. I'll expand this universe. We'll tell another story. Fuck it, right?" I mean,
how did they build the slaughterhouse?
Well, and that's what I'm kind of getting at. It's like, and I'm all for it because it gives you more of the univerce, and I'm all for getting more of the universe. Well,
and the fact that he was able to expand it on something that was supposed to be.
Whoa. Okay. Some minor technical issues looking like. Losing Matt on the video and now the audio. You there, bud? Oh no. All right, we're gonna take a quick pause here to see if we fix this. Hang on. All right, so yeah, as I was saying, I'm all for it because, like I said, they expand the universe. They, I'm all for seeing more of the story. I'm all for just seeing more of it. So it was
Well,
good. It's good,
and especially non DC, non Marvel
right?
stories getting big. I'm all for that
All
because like
for
I love
creator owned
DC.
content, dude.
Yes,
That's
I love
yes,
DC. I love Marvel, but the reason why I love Image so much and
yep. And
Skybound
Boom
and well
Studios, yeah,
and Boom
yep,
is that
yeah.
that
Still having some problems here, I guess. They're gonna pause
it's
again here.
these
Hang on one sec.
writers that could go do.
All
So
right.
then
Yeah.
I
So
spread the
we
peanut butter all over my nuts.
so some technical difficulties, I guess. So just screw it. I was talking about House of Slaughter. We're just gonna move on to the next one. I had one more comic. It was the last comic I wanted to talk about. I actually don't have a physical one. I read it digitally because I didn't grab it yet. It's called Dark Knights of Steel. It is Tom Taylor, which again, I love Tom Taylor. He does the Nightwing, does the Superman. He it was, dude, it's it's marketed as Game of Thrones meets Batman, like Batman meets Game of Thrones. And dude, the first issue, it it it's a solid 9.5 out of 10, dude.
No
It's
shit.
one of the better things I've read recently, and it got me so excited, so excited. um I don't really want to talk spoilies because I would really love for you to read it, but
Yeah.
I will say like the premise of it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So um instead of when Krypton's being destroyed, instead of them sending Clark off onto Earth by himself, they go with Clark and land. Okay. So when they land, um then she has the baby. She has him on Earth right there as they land, like after they land. And so we're in this medieval times kind of time frame, and um the king and queen are Jor-El and his wife, I can't remember her name, are so they are like, they kind of like took over this fucking kingdom. So it's like they're the king and queen, and then so you have it's supposed to be 19 years later, so you have 19-year-old Clark and then 19-year-old Bruce, and Bruce is like a knight. But I don't know, like I said, I don't want to say too much about it. I really don't want to go into the spoilies because it's cool. I loved it. I loved every bit of it, and it is definitely Batman meets Game of Thrones, and it's it's really good. I definitely
But you
definitely
know how
recommend.
much I love Batman and how much I love Game of Thrones. So
That's what I'm
that's
saying, and
yeah.
and so I was excited about this when I first heard about it, and I feel like it not only met, it totally exceeded my expectations. So yeah,
Nice.
there's a nice little twist in there, and the ending of the first issue with the last like 2 or 3 pages of the first issue, I was like, fuck yes. um yeah, actively excited, very excited for the next issue. Really want to see where that one goes.
Now I'm gonna have to go get it. Thanks, Josh.
Dark Knights of Steel. Like I said, I
Nice.
don't actually have a physical copy yet, though. That's it on comics. The only other thing I wanted to talk about was we actually had a surprise little movie night last night. We went and saw The Eternals.
The dog shit. The dog shit.
I will say that
The worst Marvel movie yet.
my personal opinion is that I think I enjoyed it more than most people have enjoyed it. Even my wife, she said that it was okay. I thought that it was good. It was definitely not great. It
You saw
was,
Shang-Chi, didn't you?
yes, Shang-Chi was, dude.
Okay, which
Shang-Chi
one
was
was better?
good. Shang-Chi. Yeah, Shang-Chi was
Okay.
good. And Shang-Chi was like, I was excited for that one, and then that one, thought that one was still surprisingly good.
Yes.
And no,
Yes.
this one was like, it's, if you go in, like if you watch trailers and you kind of go in with that like vibe from the trailers, you know what I mean? You kind of, you watch it and that's what you get, like
Yeah.
it's not, in my opinion though, it's not bad. I thought the action was great. They actually crack one little spoiler, they actually crack a Superman joke, because Rob Stark, his character, he flies and has fucking laser eyes, and this kid's walking by and goes, "Hey, you're Superman." And he's like, "I'm not
Mhm.
Superman." He's like, "Yeah, you fly, you have lasers that come out of your eyes, you're Superman. He's like, I'm not Superman. I was just like, ah. It was funny though. It was funny that they actually cracked a joke about it, you know.
So, what's the explanation for them not being around for Thanos?
So I mean,
You
it's
can
gonna
spoil it.
it's
Go
gonna
right ahead.
it's gonna basically spoil the movie itself, though.
That's
I mean,
fine. That's fine.
So the idea is that this celestial being creates universes. They create these universes. So in order for another celestial being to be born, it needs to be housed inside of like a planet, basically. And so we find out that this ancient celestial being was housing a new one inside Earth. So deep in our core is a giant celestial being ready to just burst out of Earth and come alive. And of course, in doing so, will destroy Earth. The Eternals were sent there by the other celestial being trying to make this happen, to fight these bad guys. And I can't remember what the bad guys were called. What were the bad guys called? Deviants. To fight these deviants who would try to destroy the humans on the planet, because the humans were meant to be the power supply for the new being, like they're kind of going to feed the new being out of their energy as he comes out.
So then Thanos would be the perfect bad guy for them to fight, because he wanted to take out half of them.
So
I'm missing the point.
The reason that they didn't. So first of all, the reason that they didn't interfere was because they were instructed by their sentient, their celestial being, not to interfere with anything. Period. But it also kind of gets the vibe that when Thanos snapped, it got rid of half of everything, causing the delay of the emergence, which, because it cut the power supply to this celestial being in half. Right. So they kind of saw, in my opinion, they probably saw it as like a, fuck it, we're delaying it anyway. But all they really said was that they just couldn't interfere because the celestial being, what's it, astral or something like that, astral or something like that, because that celestial being told them that they couldn't, and he was their creator, so they just couldn't interfere. They couldn't interfere because he said so. That's really the only explanation they give. So
sounds like dog shit to me.
It was a cheap kind of cop out explanation,
right? Like, here's the thing: like, they would know what Thanos was doing, and they would know that if he was able to snap, it would remove half of the battery for this celestial.
I know. So why not stop him? I know.
I think they're trying to jam bullshit.
I think that Marvel kind of wrote themselves into a corner, and so they're kind of trying to write their way out. They planned a first phase that led up to an awesome ending, and then they were kind of like, "Well, shit, now where do we go?"
I think that why introduce the Eternals this way?
Right?
Why couldn't they be doing this same thing on another planet? While Thanos did that, and the reason why now they come to Earth was to find Thanos, and Thanos is already dead, so now they're fighting something else or whatever. Like, I mean, I don't
know. I mean, the story was okay. The acting is good. The actors are good. Kumail Nanjiani is the best part of the movie. 100%. He's got in his powers are probably. He's we took our son, and he said he was Cuphead because he shoots shit out of his fingers. So, and he straight up pulls a fucking Kamehameha at one point, and dude,
shade of your mother's lipstick.
And he was like the comedic relief, so he was funny. He was by far my favorite part of the movie. But
it's just like Shang-Chi with what's her name?
Right, with Awkwafina. She was surprisingly fantastic in that movie for sure. And what am I saying? Well, you threw me off with that. So he was definitely my favorite part of the movie, but I also thought it was absolutely hilarious that you have Jon Snow, you have Robb Stark, and you have a character named Cersei in this movie. And I can't help but be like, who was writing this? Like, what are you guys doing?
Obviously Game of Thrones fans,
right? Like it was good. And then I thought all in all it was good. It wasn't great, but I didn't hate it the way some people seem to have hated it. Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought the action was on point.
Right.
I get some people didn't like the ending, and I can kind of get it. It was kind of it's a bit of a cop out ending. But
Well, and I'll tell you the only problem, I mean, it's a big problem, obviously, but the only problem I had since this was announced was how the hell are you going to make them be on Earth? Like, how does that work? That
and
they
have been
did
here for
dick
7,000
shit.
years and
Yeah.
straight up just ignore the fact that Thanos, I know, and they
Right.
really are just kind of like, well,
Reaching.
our creator said we couldn't do that, so we can't interfere. So,
Right.
so that part was definitely not well explained by any means.
Have
but
them being fucking like sleep, have
so
them knocked out for a
right,
century or whatever,
right.
and just be
So
awoken or whatever.
can I talk the ending spoilies or no?
Sure.
Like the post-credit spoilies and stuff, or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, one of them, there's two post-credits. There's a mid-credit, post-credit. Mid-credit one's okay. It introduces Thanos's brother, who is
Manos.
who is played by Harry Styles.
The fuck?
And his little dwarf, I guess. What you call him? Was he a dwarf or what was he? Not a goblin, like a dwarf. I'd say he's a dwarf.
No, he's like a goblin.
Goblin kind of thing, voiced by Patton Oswalt, his little goblin assistant dude, voiced by Patton Oswalt. It was very weird. It was very off-putting, and I do not understand Harry fucking Styles, the choice. Like, why? Why? But then again, I don't know the character, so I don't know. I have no idea who it is. He said it was Thanos' brother. I don't remember his name. I don't
remember Thanos having a brother.
I know, right?
Damn.
It was a very weird thing. And then the post credits though was where it was.
Because he's the last Titan. What the?
I know. I don't know. Dude.
Okay, sorry.
Like,
go ahead.
I don't know. Post credits one was much better. It's so Kit Harington, his character in the movie, he was always described beforehand as being the Black Knight character, and I kept being like throughout the movie, like, okay, who the fuck is he? Like, because through the whole movie, I'm gonna spoil a bit of that. He's just a guy, I kept thinking that he was one of the Eternals, but I was thrown off with that. He's not. He is just a guy. He's dating one of the Eternals. So his post credits thing is actually his like introduction into his Black Knight thing, where he's got the ebony blade is sitting here and he's looking at it. He's in this like room and he cracks it open and he's about to grab it, and you hear this voice off screen that says, "Are you sure you're ready to do that?" And he's like, "Yeah, I am," or something, and then it cuts or whatever, right? So what I found out though was that the voice off screen was Blade.
No shit.
And that's the introduction of the ebony blade, and how I guess I don't know how they're going to intertwine that, like,
because isn't it what's his name that's going to be Blade?
Marshall Ali. Wait,
Marshala
Ali, I think it's yeah.
Marshall
But
Ali.
yes.
I fucking love that
dude. Yes, fantastic.
When they announced that, I was like, that's so fucking perfect.
I think my only complaint about them bringing Blade into the universe is simply that it's not going to be rated R, but that's okay. I think that they could do it well enough. I don't think that they would.
Confirm?
I don't think that. No,
that
but I don't think that they would go there. I really don't. I don't think that Marvel would do it.
Disney is talking about bringing Daredevil in and keeping those stories going, and possibly bringing Punisher in. There is
right, and I've heard about all that too. That's what I mean.
Yeah, there's zero way to do a Punisher series without.
Yeah, no, I know, and I know that they're supposedly keeping Deadpool. So
right. But Deadpool's in his own universe. He's
exactly
in the X-Men universe.
Right, exactly. Really and I don't know how they're going to cover that. I really hope that if they bring him over, I really hope that they make jokes about that, about the fact that he's like, well, this feels familiar, but what the hell is this, or something like that, Yeah. So anyway, all in all, I thought it was good. Not great. I'd say 6 or 7 out of 10. The acting was good. The action was good. The story was okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry. I know I think I'm going a little too long here, but the during Eternals, we had the Morbius trailer, the new Morbius trailer. Dude, have you seen that?
I have.
I loved it. I loved every bit of it, dude.
I'm optimistic. I am. It's just I just after the whole Venom Carnage
Oh
thing,
no, for sure. For
I'm
sure.
iffy.
And
Sony tends to fuck up everything Spider-Man, but
it's starting to feel that way. That's true.
you know.
So I get
So,
being cautious about it, but I think the trailer,
but
I think he looked really good. I think he
here's
looked
my
really
here's
good.
my here's my thing that I understand, right? So the third it's the third Spider-Man movie, right? This is gonna be the
Mhm.
third one. So they're doing a multiverse Sinister Six, but in Morbius, they're gonna make a new Sinister Six.
I have no idea anymore. I really don't anymore. They're
Like,
just probably going to be
because
like
when
split.
it
Well, that's this universe and that's this universe.
what wasn't it
I have
supposed to
no idea.
be the Vulture, Mysterio, or wait, who's gonna be the other one from the new ones? It's
Uh,
gonna be
uh, Vulture. Oh no, you said Vulture. Yeah, Vulture and
is it Mysterio or who's going to be that second one? But anyways, it's going to be Electro and the Lizard, and then Doc Ock and Green Goblin.
right.
So
Where does
I
Morbius fit into that? Right.
well, no, but I was really confused at the fact that Vulture was in this, like
Right.
that they
No, I
showed
was
him. It
too.
was
I
just
was
like,
too. That's a weird way to cross paths. So to cross yeah,
well,
it makes it very confusing. It
right.
does.
And then when is okay? So is Morbius supposed to take place before Spider-Man 3?
Right. That's
Because he's in jail because the vulture's in jail still. That's the only thing. The trailer was awesome. I liked it.
right.
It
Right.
looks very good. It does.
Right.
I'm concerned because
I was
Sony.
very impressed with how he looks. I
Yes.
thought he looked really good. Like the
Yep.
full on thing at the end when he's full on, I was like,
Yes.
yes, that looks good.
I liked it a lot. And like I said, the only two things that bother me is the fact that Sony tends to fuck up everything Spider-Man and
Right.
after the whole Venom Carnage thing.
Right.
But the only other thing was the Vulture. That one I couldn't wrap my head
right. It's a
around.
weird, like they kept being back and forth, like, oh, we are put there was actually a meme I saw about that because they were like, oh, we are combining the universe, but then we're not, but then we are, but then we aren't, but then Sinister Six, but then we aren't gonna do a spider like because they were gonna do like a Venom verse essentially, like or like a villain verse,
The
like Spider-Man villain verse or something like
what's it called?
yeah, Rogues
Rogues
Gallery,
Gallery verse
yeah,
for
for
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which
I
would have
don't
been
know.
great. Do you could still do the Hunter, you could do Craven,
Raven,
you
which
could
I thought
do.
they were doing that.
Yes, that's what I thought too.
Right.
So like I thought Sony was building their own
Right.
Sinister Six, and then Marvel and
It's like,
Spider-Man
well,
3
now
was going
we're
to have
gonna
like
do a
a
Sinister
well, I
Six.
thought they were going to have their own multiverse Sinister Six, and
Right.
then Spider-Man eventually faced the current timeline Sinister Six.
Right.
Throwing Vulture in that kind of just it's weird. It's
Yeah.
weird.
No, it is. It was
So
weird. It was weird. But like I said, my big thing is I think
optimistic.
it
It
looks
looked
great.
great.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
looked great. It
Yeah.
looked very good.
All right. That's it. That's it. I'm done. I'm done.
That's it.
I sat here like, dude, I don't have much to talk about. And then suddenly, well, and
It
then we had some
grew.
technical difficulties here for a
Yeah.
minute. So Matt, what's up, dude? What is up?
Man, I'll tell you, I only got a couple things to talk about. I'll try to keep them a little bit short. So the big thing is the Walking Dead universe. So currently, technically, we had 3 shows running at the same time. The Walking Dead first 6 episodes of the last season, maybe 8, 6 or 8, came out, and then you've got Fear the Walking Dead, and then
World
you
Beyond,
have
right?
World Beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll start with the Walking Dead. They've shown more of the Commonwealth in little patches. No Pamela yet. I can't wait to see her. But you do get to see that cocksucker Sebastian.
Oh.
And he is just, I will say that you've only seen him for a little bit, and they've made him as bad as they did in the comic. Like,
God damn it.
hate him. You just hate him. You just hate him. He's just a rich kid.
It sucks that like
do and say whatever he wants.
it just sucks that like he can't I
There's
don't
no
know.
redeeming factors to his character. And I like that they did that. Like at least they're
Right.
trying to keep it as close as possible. We'll
Right.
see. Mercer is amazing. The actor that they got to play Mercer, I love him. I love everything about him. And they've done a great job with that. But the biggest bad guy for the Alexandria group right now has been Pope and his group. And if you remember, he was the one that I told you that stepped on one of his guys' faces into the fire, and it shows
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, of all the deaths I've seen, that's still the most brutal to me. That includes Glenn and everybody else.
Right.
Um, I really liked him. I did not care for how he died. He gets stabbed in the back by a quote unquote could have been Daryl girlfriend.
Oh,
And you think that, that's going to be kind of the end of it, but she ends up taking over the group and attempting to attack Daryl and his cohorts. Funniest part about this, though, it ends on like a cliff note, obviously, because you got to wait till the full next season comes out.
right.
They're doing them in like 8 episode intervals. I think that's what it was. So, but the funniest thing about this, the last episode, I think, is the
All right. I'm gonna have to pause here again for just a sec. Freaking technical difficulties again. Apologize.
to
All right.
so the funny thing that they had to do in order to attack Pope's compound was they had to put on the Whisperer masks. And
Oh,
that's something I really like that they never did in the comic. Like they never, to my knowledge, they never put on the mask in order to infiltrate another group or anything like that. And that was really cool seeing Maggie
I thought
in a
one
Whisperer mask.
person did.
Yeah, but who was that? I don't know if anybody did. I don't think anybody did,
No,
dude.
I
And
don't
this was
know.
after the Whispers are already gone. So
No, I'm thinking of Negan. And I'm thinking when
yeah,
Negan just walks in there and fucking
yeah,
kills her.
yeah. So
Right.
they had to wear these masks in order to bring this horde to the compound to try to attack them. Which I thought was pretty cool. So I will say that The Walking Dead, this first part of the last season's okay.
Okay.
I'd say 7 out of 10, but there's some episodes that are like 9 out of 10.
Right.
And then there's some episodes that are like 5 out of 10.
Right.
So I would definitely, catch up if you can. But the next 2 series, honestly, are better than the original, in my opinion, where they're at. So we're going to go to Fear the Walking Dead. Fear the Walking Dead, at the end of last season, there was a nuclear bomb that was shot. And let me tell you, Josh, in my opinion, I have not seen better setups for what would happen in a nuclear apocalypse than this. As far as when people come out, what they see and the environment and everything.
Okay.
There's parts of this where it looks like a painting. Like the background looks like a painting. It's so cool. Where you've got like the nuclear sun and little smoke and ash and all the trees are burnt. Like it's really cool.
Just one of the good settings.
Yes. So if you you could probably find some pictures of that online if you're not interested in following the show. But the big story arcs on this it's Victor's group versus Morgan's group. So kind of they're building up Victor to be a bad guy this season. Not really a bad guy, but the bad guy to Morgan. But I'll tell you, Josh, they had one of my favorite episodes of The Walking Dead ever. Okay. And that was called gosh, I can't let me pull it up. But do you remember the Cloverfield Lane movie?
Okay. I don't know that I ever watched that one. 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yes.
I don't think I ever watched that one, which
okay.
I don't understand why, because it's Mary Elizabeth Winstead and John Goodman. So I don't know why I haven't watched it. And I've heard it was good. I don't know why I never watched it.
So the name of this episode is Cindy Hawkins. Okay. So my favorite character in Fear the Walking Dead was John Dory, who was kind of like a sheriff kind of guy, almost like Rick, but not all the way like Rick. So he had died a couple seasons ago, and they find his father. And so his wife, June, and his father, They took shelter in this underground bunker when the bomb went off. And so the first few episodes is showing like where everybody's at after the bomb went off, kind of.
Right.
And their episode, they're in this bunker of the guy who John Dory Sr. put in jail that set off. Okay, so John Dory, before the apocalypse, was a legitimate sheriff. He put this guy in jail for being a serial killer.
Okay.
The guy actually is the one that got out and released the nuclear bomb during the zombie apocalypse. Okay, so they're in his bunker, right? And they're marking off days. It's been day 66, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows their like daily routines and everything. The bunker is basically a school bus that's under like 15 feet underground or whatever. And all of a sudden they find out that there's actually a second part to the underground bunker, and it's the serial killer's lair where he would embalm women alive.
Holy shit.
Right. And so John Dory Sr.'s dealing with the fact that he never found the last body, the last girl. He knew that this guy had killed her, but he couldn't find her body. And so it's an episode where he's getting, flashbacks to what had happened, and he's getting talked to by the ghost of this girl. Yeah. And he's going through withdrawals of alcohol because for the past 10 years he's been an alcoholic. And now that he's underground, they lost all the booze. So like he's having these hallucinations.
Right.
And it's definitely reminiscent of 10 Cloverfield Lane, where, it's an alien apocalypse and right. You see it from these, two perspectives, but it's way better. And so it ends with them finally, John Dory Sr. is hell-bent on solving this murder, where the body is, and they end up finding the body, and it totally resets him, as a survivor and everything like that. But it's a very, very entertaining story. A very good episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I mean, I know it's kind of, for people who haven't watched the show or haven't caught up, like it's kind of like, but like if you're a fan of 10 Cloverfield Lane, which I thought was an underrated suspense movie.
I've heard that from anybody who actually has watched it, was that they always say it was surprisingly really good.
Yeah.
So.
And if you're, if you're a fan of that, like I would definitely check out, even if it's just this episode, because it really doesn't have a whole lot to do with zombies, this episode. And so like you could come into it and kind of not have to worry about what's going on before, what's going on after. You could just watch this episode and be very entertained. One of the best episodes I've seen in a long time of inside the Walking Dead universe. So that's kind of where you're at with Fear the Walking Dead. But the biggest surprise to me is how good World Beyond Walking Dead World Beyond season 2 has been.
Yeah.
I did not care for season 1. I thought it was just the emo version of The Walking Dead. I did not like it. Season 2 opens up with, so you're familiar with what happened to Rick in The Walking Dead on the show?
I'm actually not. I know he leaves, but I don't know how. Or like I know he's perceived as dead from what I understand, right?
So he gets taken away on a helicopter, with these 3 rings on it, and this lady called Jadis. And he's whisked off. So you come to find out that World Beyond is about the group that is the 3 rings, and they're called the Civic Republic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so everybody was all hopeful for this, like, oh my God, you're going to see where Rick is. What's going on with Rick? And then season 1 came out, and I thought it was dog shit. I hate the season 1 was just so boring. It was so long. It just wasn't good. Then season 2 happened, and from the very beginning of season 2, I have been absolutely hooked. With the first like 5 seconds, first like 2 minutes of the second season is showing how the Civic Republic destroyed a settlement of 100,000 survivors.
Whoa.
Let's start there. So the problem, I understand people who have problems with it, is like, in the comic, the Commonwealth is by far the biggest settlement with 50,000.
Right.
And World Beyond is now on the same timeline as where we're at with The Walking Dead. You mean to tell me that nobody's heard about this other settlement of 100,000 people? It's in Omaha, Nebraska. So, but still, you get to see the destruction of Omaha. So, in the first season, they actually destroyed the what do they call it? The campus colony, which is in Washington,
Right.
the state of, I don't know, 20,000 people. Now they have destroyed this colony, in Omaha, Nebraska, of 100,000 people. And it's insane to see. Like, I was not expecting it. I thought it was just going to be the same boring bullshit.
And then they started off with being like,
they,
nope, right in your face.
Yep.
All
they took it to
over
15.
your face.
We're just going to destroy.
They took it to 15.
They took it to a 15 real fast. I'm going to start it at 12. So it started
good,
off.
though. That's good.
Yes,
I mean,
yes,
it sounds awesome. Yeah.
Well, and they said that they're only doing 2 seasons, so I'm glad that they're
that
bombing
this one picked it up. Yeah. That's cool. That's
then
cool.
Then the other really cool thing is there's 2 more really cool things. Jadis, so the girl that
just a sec. I'm listening.
The girl that saves Rick from dying and brought him to this colony, she shows up finally in season 2. And so, like, there's this plot between the main people to try to figure out what happened to Omaha and to prove that the Civic Republic destroyed Omaha. And Jadis is like a security guard for the Commonwealth, or not the Commonwealth, the Civic Republic. And so there's this like, oh, here's Jadis. Where's Rick? Are they going to show Rick? Because, like, there's been rumors that Rick's going to show up at some point in this series. And then that's when the investigation between these people who are trying to find out what happened to Omaha or prove that it was the Civic Republic that destroyed Omaha, they end up finding out that they have, and you don't know what it is yet, but it's some kind of
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but you said there was 2 seasons, right?
2 seasons.
So that's the thing. If Rick shows up, it's going to have to be during the season then, right? Is what you're saying. So, okay. Sorry, continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was just...
Well, so the theory is the rumors are that he's going to show up at some point.
Right.
So the Civic Republic, this group of people is trying to prove that they're the ones that killed everybody in Omaha. This group of people came from the campus colony. They don't know that the campus colony is gone.
Oh.
Yeah. So they're trying to find, but they found out about Omaha. They're trying to get proof that it's the Civic Republic that did this and take it back to the campus colony.
Okay.
Campus colony is no longer existent. They don't know that yet.
Okay.
So, and like, it's just, it's the best thing was, like, I love the fact that they find evidence, but you don't know what exactly that evidence is. It's some kind of biological weapon.
Okay. And
they have a massive supply of it. But here's the thing that I really like about this season is the fact that they are trying this Civic Republic is actually the group that's trying to fix the problem. So they are coming up with scientists some kind of viral mixture that hurries decomposition in the dead. To basically
just wipe them out, and so just kill them all off.
Yeah,
basically. Yeah.
Yes, that's going to be like this aerial virus, bacteria, whatever, that will, when the dead take it or ingest it, it speeds up their decomposition and will basically kill them, if not instantly, over a small amount of time, and leaving the world with just living people,
whoever's alive.
And so right, and so there is and here's the thing that pisses me off.
I do love the idea that rather than
into this,
right. I was just gonna say I do love that over idea. 2 seasons. right. They're picking it all up in that second season, right. But no, I was just gonna say I like the idea that they've kind of abandoned getting a cure and just said, you know what, let's just fucking wipe them out then. Let's just fucking wipe them all out. That's cool. I like that.
And so they are doing tests, and so, like, they have post-credit scenes, and they have what's called A's and B's, and this goes back to Rick. Rick was called an A, I want to say, But they have this a test that they're doing on all these A's and B's down in the basements of this facility, trying to figure out, basically trying to come up with a solution that causes this quick decomposition that will basically kill the zombies.
Right.
And so like it's a very unique way of handling
Right. That's
how to
what I
go
was getting at.
forward.
Well, that's what I was getting at is
You
I love
know,
the idea that they are just like, you know what, fuck the cure. Let's just try to wipe them all out before they can wipe us out. You know, like
and of all the different, I'm a huge zombie fan. I've
right.
watched countless zombie movies, shows, everything. This is one of the best unique new ideas that I've heard
Right.
of. That like
it is.
we can't, we can't just nuke the entire country. We can't just missile strike the entire country. Let's
But
find
something
a way
that would focus on them and kill them all off quickly. Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yes. And so I'm really hopeful. I think it's got like 2 episodes left. So like it's got to hurry up.
Right.
And that's where that's the only frustrating thing is like you could have taken
Cram
like
it in
half
there.
of this.
Yeah.
Right. You could have taken half of this, put half of the information in the first season and then expanded on, because like I just have a feeling that this zombie killing virus is going to be like left. It's going to be lost, and it's just going to suck because like I think that would tie in, The Walking Dead. So there's no explanation in The Walking Dead why you have the Commonwealth and you have the Western Alliance, why there is almost no zombies in between.
Oh, right. Okay.
This would help with that, explaining that, and that's what Carl and the Commonwealth talk about how there's almost no zombies left and blah blah blah. This would solve that, like, because like, okay, did both colonies go to war and wipe out all of the middle of the United States?
Right.
Or was it this virus bacteria mixture that was created by this third entity that wiped out all of the dead? Like I would love to see that. Like it's just it's a very cool idea.
Yeah, like you said,
wish,
unique, very unique. Yeah. Yep.
I wish they had expanded on, and I wish that they could have put some of
more time.
Yes, because the second season is 10 times better than the first season. The first season,
but it's already almost done, right? That's
the first season's a bunch of character building of these whiny ass fucking teens that you don't like,
right? And
then the second season has all this information, and it's like second season's so fucking good,
right?
So now the other thing I was going to talk about was we've talked about it before, but I think that I talked to Josh offsite that we are going to launch the Cows Den Sports channel, and we're gonna give me a oh
yeah. Oh my god.
So
Chupapi Menayos.
Oh my god.
So we're going to I'm going to try to set it up on Wednesday. And so what we're going to try to do is do one episode of the sports and then one episode of the regular Cows Den and kind of go week by week.
And
so
and this is sports is definitely going to be more Matt's thing. I might come on and talk football a little bit here and there, but football is the extent of my knowledge, and I don't have a whole lot on that. So that's definitely going to be more Matt. But I'll come on and talk, for sure. But I'm just letting you all know it's gonna be more Matt focused thing. That's all.
And the big reason
is the way the video records is that you're on this side of me, so I feel like I should just be like this asshole. Don't fucking talk to this guy.
But I mean, the big reason why I wish I had done it before this, and that's my own fault. But
dude,
there's a huge day of combat sports tomorrow tonight.
Saturday.
It is the best pound for pound boxer in the world. That would be Canelo Alvarez fighting to get the final title he needs to be the undisputed champ, and that's Caleb Plant. But I'm a big UFC guy, and I think that this next card is going to be the best round that we'll have all year of fights, and that is you could see the best pound for pound. Kamara,
I'm calling it right now
versus Colby dipshit Covington.
20-second fight, knocked out in 20 seconds.
Anywho,
I don't know which one.
and
Just
then-
one of them's gonna knock the other one out in 20 seconds.
And then Rose, oh my God, I will eat her fart. Namajunas, defending her title in a rematch with Shang-Chi. I can't.
There was
remember.
I
can't remember her name.
There was a movie called Good
but-
Luck Charlie. It was Dane Cook and Dan Fogler. Dan Fogler's in it, and at one point, Dan Fogler says the phrase, "I'd suck a fart out of her ass and hold it like a bong hit." Just
Yep.
that's
But
one
no.
of the most. It's one of the most disgusting things I think I've ever heard, but it stuck with me so well. Like it's in my head forever. I will never forget that line. Suck a fart out of her ass and hold it like a bong hit.
It's a great night for combat sports. Any fan of combat sports, so I definitely,
Anybody who likes watching two men wrestle around on the ground together.
Hey, no, watching Rose. I'm gonna have to send you a picture of Rose. My God, dude. So, anywho, get ready. We will hopefully be dropping our first video on the new channel, hopefully on Wednesday, if not Wednesday by next Saturday. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So go check out this guy. Go check out this guy. The guy over here. No. Come check out the Caston sports stuff. Like you said,
Chupapi
Wednesday.
Menayo.
Can I get a oh yeah?
Oh
Oh my god. That's got to be one of the better ones I've ever heard, if I'm being honest with you. That was good. That was good. All right. Well, I think that's about it though. Yeah. I think we're about good for today. I definitely want to talk some Call of Duty next time. I knew Vanguard came out. I don't know if I'm going to pick up Vanguard, but I know within the next couple weeks to a month or so, they're going to do the new Warzone update with the new map.
If you can't tell, I'm a diehard battle royale fan, and so
except for Fortnite, he just for some reason cannot get into Fortnite.
No, I play Fortnite with the girls sometimes, but
right?
Like,
well, okay.
I don't have a whole lot of time to play games.
Well, I get that too, man, and especially I've got a new job going on, and that's going to be really fucking thick for the next couple of weeks. So
now I will say, when you're talking PUBG versus Fortnite, I love PUBG.
PUBG's got more realistic aspect to it than Fortnite, which always gives it a better play. Fortnite, in my opinion, the reason I actually got hooked into it was because 90% of the fucking people playing it are 8-year-olds, so you can just walk through stomping everybody until you run into one of those people who are like
build a fucking temple and
see now I know how to deal with those guys though. It's called fireflies, bro. You just throw the fireflies, burns everything down, good to go. All right, anyway,
until they added the fucking steel
walls, right? The fucking cheaters. No. Anyway, I think that about does it for episode 22. Like I said, I definitely want to talk some Call of Duty next week or next episode. We may have to figure out something to do with the next episode because, like I said, my work's about to get hella busy, so I don't know when I'll have the time to do this. But we'll get one out. We'll get one out. Oh, the next episode. Yeah, no, next episode is good. It's the episode after that. Yeah, next episode.
Right.
So 4 weeks.
I think 4 more episodes and we're at 1 year. 22, so it'd be 26. So 4 more and we'll be at a year.
Well, and technically speaking, we've hit the year. It's just a matter of it took us when we first started, we were making like one episode every 2 months or something. So it's like we weren't really putting them out. So but yeah, 26. Yeah, 26 because it'd be 52 weeks, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So been crazy, man. Started as a little COVID thing, just kind of started doing it, so it's been fun. It's been fun, man. So thank you guys, anybody who watches, listens. We always love it. We always appreciate it. If you have any comments, suggestions, anything, get in contact with us. Comment, like, follow, subscribe, all that fun shit. I'm actually in discussion with our designer for our logo to get some stickers made. I have talked with her about like maybe her cut and whatnot, and so we might be getting some stickers made or something to that effect. So keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for that. If you guys want some though, like let us know. Freaking like I said, comment, like all that crap. Send me an email, something. Let me know. So as always though, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Later.